Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to That Square Sports Podcast. And today we're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals and the trouble in paradise for the OTAs. And let's just say that it's time for people to get paid. And I definitely agree. I think that what's the best way to say this? I think that the Bengals really have an exceptional talented group, or had a talented group. You had Tyler Boyd, who's your third option, who's probably maybe a 2 and maybe a 1 for the freaking, Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers, maybe the Colts. Well, not the Colts, but you get what I'm saying. Tyler Boyd's not a bad option at number 2, number 1 for certain teams. Then on top of that, T. Higgins obviously can go be a number 1 anywhere in the NFL. And Jamar Chase, who is a number 1 already in the NFL. But Tyler Boyd obviously exits. And then, of course, Joe Mixon, who is a great versatile Swiss Army type running back, is no longer there for, of course, the Bengals too. And as I talked about in the draft grades, I love what they've done in the draft, but it's very hard to replace certain players. I think that the system is going to be great for them, grooming the offense of off the rookies. But this is more of a bigger issue at hand with this team, is the fact that they drafted great skilled players. They just paid them all at the wrong time. Obviously, here's the big debate for me. If you're T. Higgins and you just saw what happened down there in Houston to my great team, the Texans, we obviously signed Miko Collins. And if you know anything about Miko Collins has never been healthy except for this one season. And he got $73 million. Now, I'm not one to say anything bad about Miko, but let's keep it a buck, guys. T. Higgins is better than Miko Collins. I am a fan of my boys, but T. Higgins is better than Miko Collins. I'm just keeping it a buck. Let's keep it real. Now, with that being said, T. Higgins has made some crazy, spectacular catches in his career as a Bengal. He's been a dog. Shoot, the Super Bowl catch, obviously the one against the Vikings last year. If you watched it, let's just keep it real. We need to keep T. Higgins. They need to keep T. Higgins on their roster. Not we, they do as the Bengals. Also, Jamar Chase. Where do I start? Electrifying since he touched the field. Since he landed in Cincy, he has been the man. So honestly, I understand that they're saying that this is not a big deal. It's not what that is. But Joe Burrow was injured. He's slowly getting back to who he needs to become, a top 5 quarterback, which he has the potential to be. Obviously maybe top 3 if he plays a full season at 100% health, especially with the caliber of the roster that he has. He could make that, or you could make that argument. I think that now Joe Burrow needs to go in and vouch for his receivers. That's really what I think it is. Because without them, obviously Joe Burrow wouldn't be where he's at. And we've seen this team actually kind of be in games with Browning at quarterback, throwing the ball to these exceptional receivers. Now, my biggest argument really comes down to this. If you had to lose one, who do you keep? Obviously, we're keeping Jamar Chase, but what would you give for T. Higgins? I think T. Higgins at best is a third, second rounder, depends on who you're giving, who really needs a receiver. New York needs one. The Panthers need one for sure. Maybe San Fran says, hey, let's go for the gusto and let's grab them. Maybe the Rams, obviously, Sean McVay loved giving up his first round pick. Why not make that conversation, make that call? Arizona needs one too as well. So these are certain things. I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas got in the mix. These are trade spots that I think that all are landable. Landable, is that even a word? Tell me in the comments. Is that even a word? But these are situations that I think that T. Higgins fits perfect in. You got to break the bank for Jamar Chase. I don't see him going anywhere, really, when it comes down to the who's leaving, who's staying type argument. And honestly, I think they have enough money to sign them both. They need to get this taken care of. It's just really bad for the chemistry of the OTAs right out the gate because obviously, this team really, if we're looking at it, 3 years ago, was it 2021, the Super Bowl they were in? Outside of Eli Apple pretty much being trash against Cooper Kupp and the offensive line playing exceptionally well in that game, if you're going to bash the offensive line, they could have possibly won the Super Bowl. Let's be real and keep it a buck. And Joe Burrow not having too many injuries, this team really has a potential chance to be a Super Bowl contender squad and really can be a problem in the AFC. I think that the AFC North has gotten better. Therefore, I believe that you really need to keep as many offensive talent players around you. They got the guy from Alabama who's the speedster. I see that. But, let's be real. Let's keep it a buck. if you've got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, now Burton doesn't have to come in and be that exceptional receiver right away. He can learn from these two guys. Don't let what Tyler Boyd did go out the door. As obviously, like I said, I think that these three receivers potentially, when I say that as in Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase, could have won multiple rings at that realm. That's just me. I like them all together. That's what I, on the outside looking at it, not as a Bengals fan, but I like them all together. I think more and more as we dive into this, yes, the bottom line is money, but how bad do the Bengals really want to win when it comes to this? Do they really invest in Joe Burrow more? Can they take the Chargers route and get rid of and dump the roster? I think it's a bit extreme thinking, but it isn't that bad when you let T. Higgins walk out the door. I really, really have to think to myself, do I really want to find gold again in the draft like that? So it's something to think about. It's definitely something to talk about for sure, the OTAs. And, them not being there, obviously, they can have a truck contract done by tomorrow morning, and this all could be just rubbish. And I would be mad because I wasted my time making a video. Take a deep breath, relax. But Bengals fans, where do you stand with this? Because I'm dying to really know how you all feel about this part of this whole entire OTAs where you guys are at. Also, if you get a chance, check out your draft grades too on my channel. With that being said, peace. Oh, and Kentucky has better chili than y'all. That's just me saying that. Peace.